Hello, we are here to make another interview for Vocile 2.0. This time the interview is with Tal Catran. Welcome to Iasi, welcome to Romania.
Thank you for inviting me, love to be here.
Tal, tell me this. In your presentation, all over the place, you are named Accelerators Guru. Guru, it's a big word, isn't it?
Okay.
How come? Explain us, please.
How did I get the term guru?
Yeah, and
I think that what we use, like in startup world or startup language, would be mentors. You will hear a lot. Coaching, you will hear less. Coaching we keep for something else. Yeah, but guru in a way, something, first of all, you don't hear much, but it has a certain connotation when you use it. I think that the fact that I have established so many accelerators, you know, for a one person, 2012, not a decade ago, but still I was among the first to do that in Israel. And since then, not just did I open many accelerators, but they were in different clusters: women, digital health, ed tech for advertising, homeland security, smart city. A and B, it was for different, let's say, institutions. It was for academies, then for corporates, then for the government, which I run now new 2 programs for the government. I think the all in all is that the quantity is so big. I got this nickname in a way, and it really hooked on to me, and it's been running since.
I understand that. It's like a distinguished kind of word to make you unique, but this word, guru, means that you know everything.
I don't think anyone, maybe God, but I don't think anyone knows everything. But I think not just do I, you know, I even said it today in one of the lectures. I think that if people would stop and think for a minute, they will find out that most of what they know is from someone else, meaning they heard someone else say it.
They get the ideas.
Exactly, they did not feel it themselves. When they think about what do I really know in person, it's much smaller than what I know from someone else. So, yes, I think in a way that I think that when it comes to accelerators, I've tried so much that I earned this name.
Tell me this, if we are thinking with our head, birthing our ideas, our own ideas, this is a good business?
I would say...
Is it good for business?
To think only with your head, not with your emotion, with your heart, with your gut, I think impossible.
It's impossible.
I think that as people, we are wired in a way that you cannot use only your brain. I mean, for a certain time, yes, but not for a long period.
You have this kind of philosophy about the business that the money are up there, and the startups try to get this kind of money, and the investors, for some reasons we actually understand it, they tend to keep the money under the floor instead of giving to startups. But the startups should understand very well this and try to do this only thing in order and to get it well, to ask for money. This is a rough situation in business, isn't it? It's kind of cynical.
I'll just describe it a bit different. It's the fact that there's a lot of money running around. A. B. Investors, probably their money is safer, I say in their bank, I go under the floor than giving it to a startup. It's safer there. But for some reason, there is this kind of a sex relation part, like dating part between a investor and a startup, between a kind of a gambler to an excellent storyteller. He is speaking about a dream, about a myth, about something that he has all the intent of making reality, but honestly, it's not 100% he's gonna reach what he just promised. Here stands a guy who knows exactly this is the game, but still he plays along. He's kind of this gambler who says, you know what, I know my money is safer there, but let me do something with it with you, taking a large risk, but also the upside can be huge. Now, the fact that money is all around and the fact that the startups can find it makes them crazy. When they do find it, they do everything wrong. Not everything, of course, is not all the case, but in most cases, I would bet that startups are great on the technology to a certain point, but they are much less good on the business side. I think good investors realize this, they help them, they shape them, they mold them in a way where they make sure they know what to do with their money. It's a very interesting kind of a relationship, and you know what? I know people that become addicted to just doing that, either to be on that side. How do I know? Startups, when they do an exit, the next day start a new startup. They don't even go to the beach to relax. It's like, we need to go on. I am in the momentum, don't stop me. I'll jump. Same here with the investors. He invested well, the next day he wants to do another investment. And it's not funny, it's reality. But as we see, it's really different from ecosystem to, and maybe different from culture to, maybe different from country to country. And we see it here, much, much different. Most of what I will say, people will look at and say, interesting, where are you coming from, Mars? Is that on Mars what you say? No, it's here, and 2.5 hours flight from here. I don't believe you. Until they come back here more frustrated and saying, why don't we have it like this? So you have the sense that they want something to happen, but how? They don't know.
Tal, if we are looking on the numbers, statistics, about 95% of startups are failures. So winning, making an exit is like winning at the lottery. Why it's such an, thrilling about these startups?
You know that not ancient days, but let's say my grandfather, I will be 50 on December. So my grandfather, when he started his business, he really dreamt that my father would take over and then he would pass it on to me and me to my son, A, B. He was actually living out from the business. He was taking a salary and buying food and paying mortgage and everything. Speak to startups today. Do you know any startup person who takes a salary from his startup when he just started? He will look at it, what? Salary? No, I've got nothing. I'm only investing. I'm putting everything I have in, nothing to take out, number one. And number two, your sister, yeah, but you're going to build this business and you're going to live from your business and you're going to pass it. And you go, what? No. I want to sell it. 2 months, 3 months tops. It's an exit. Listen, it's an economy shift. So you understand people are like wired now currently in a different way and you cannot stop it. So is it thrilling? Yes. It's difficult, close to impossible for sure in an ecosystem of 5,000-6,000 startups. Think about the competition, and these are the LTDs, not the bootstrap garage hidden at home people. But you know what? It works. And it works because we open in Israel 1,500 new startups a year. We also close 500. No one speaks about that. Eh? We speak about what we open. So maybe we know something, or we do it in a different way, or the fact that, yes, if you would open a newspaper in Israel, each week another exit. 300, 100, 500, not all unicorns, but we have tons of unicorns, and the government knows this. And this is why the government says to itself, I need to be the first investor. My ROI is almost secured, and I'm taking taxes, millions of dollars, and tunneling it back to the ecosystem. Here, government says, I'm not sure because, I don't know where this is going. There is no plan. There is no format. There is no security. Well, 96, 95% says you're going to shut down first year. It's an uncertainty for the rest of your life. Either you take this decision and you go ahead, or in the case of Europe, say, you know what, we'll wait for tomorrow. We will probably see tomorrow. We as in Israel, will we 100% we're going to see tomorrow? Well, if you see the news, nothing is certain with us.
I heard you say that it's important for a startup to ask the right questions. Suppose I'm a member of a startup. What are the main, would you think are the main wrong questions that startups ask the investors?
First of all, I would say, okay, so you're speaking about investors because startups they speak to different people, right? And so with investors. Okay, so I think that startups in general, when they start raising money, I think in most cases they are not ready to do that. They don't have the skills, they don't have the experience, and instead of turning to someone who has done this already and just ask him, how do we do this? They go straight ahead and say, I don't have the time. I'll take care of it. They start calling, they get this meeting, they come to the investor, 10, 5, 20 minutes. It goes like this. Either they come out and say, oh my God, an excellent meeting, he's gonna invest. I call the investor, he says, what? That's rubbish. What did they tell you? Forget about it. Or they come out and say, oh my God, the worst ever. I call the investors, listen, very interesting. I'm like, what just happened here? How could that be? One coming out says it was amazing while it was a disaster. And the other, what is missing out? In missing out experience is mainly even to read people, but startups are on automatic. They have those 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour meeting. They spit the presentation. When I say spit, what I mean is that if you go to a meeting with an investor, learn your investor. Understand what makes him tick. Do not just waste the time. It's like almost insulting in a way. Think about a startup of two people in the age of, 25, 27. They come to a meeting with me and they start like this, blah, 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 blah. And before I start speaking, they say, can you tell us a bit about yourself? You're telling me to tell you about, what are you doing here? End of meeting. I get so angry because this is disrespect. This is why I say they don't have the experience. B, they're on automatic. An investor can ask them, can I ask you a question? They have no problem. Please wait to the end of my presentation. Are you serious? To wait to what? Or the wise answer, good question, it's the next slide. Let me finish. No, go to the next slide. You are not running the show here. Startups need to understand that when they meet investors, for sure, this investor has a billion other things to do. He can meet brilliant startups, but he's meeting with you. You are there as a presenter. You are an actor. You present. That's the essence of things. He needs to enjoy. look at it like this. He needs to enjoy. He needs to be impressed. He needs to get some emotion. He needs to be curious. Yes, you need to practice. This is called storytelling. It's a profession now. And when startups don't understand it, they will crash, miss out, go wrong all over, and then come and say, Tal, I don't understand what happened. I think he's not the right person for me. No, you're not the right person for everyone else. This is how sensitive and difficult, and yes, I think I've gone through most of the big mistakes startups do.
Speaking about investors, I heard you saying also that investors invest in people. Can you develop a little bit about that?
Yeah. Investors understand that the technology shown to them has many, or could have many holes, many faults. For instance, could be that someone in the same minute develops the same, but we did not find him. Could be that we thought it will go this way, but all of a sudden we need to pivot. And they understand that the only thing that would keep this going is the team or the people. So it doesn't make sense for them to say, unless they want to say, we will invest and replace the team, which happens sometimes, not in early stage. This is why it is for certain that an investor, to secure his money, would look deeply into the team just to understand they respect his time and money and will take good care. As I remind you, taking money from investors, meaning you're taking that from their family. Angel investors, not VCs, not corporates, but angels. And you know what? Angels are the first to be there for the startups. These are the people who will invest $50,000 to, let's say, $200,000, that's the limit. But they're the one to actually believe and start this process for the startups to grow. So yes, they always invest in people.
I have one last question. Do you believe that the public thinking it's a tool for startups? You have on your t-shirt this message, don't hesitate, accelerate. So public speaking could be a useful tool for a startup, for members of a startup?
I think yes, because startups will find themselves on a daily basis convincing people. Doesn't matter if you convince them on Skype call, on major stage, on airplane flying to somewhere, stopping them in the mall. It's about reaching out to people. It's about touching them. This is why it's very clear that CEO, major job, raising money, he's a people's person. He likes to schmooze and mingle. He knows how to speak, must. CTO, a different person. He needs to know technology, he needs to program, he needs to be concentrated on meeting the next milestone. This is important. So yes, I would really recommend to startups, especially of course to the CEOs, learn, watch YouTube, try it over, speak to whomever you can, but be aware how you look, aware how you speak, how loud, how good is your English. It leaves an impression when you speak in a certain way, when you show respect. It's acting. This is what it is. This is why it's called you are a presenter of something. Of course, believe in yourself, believe in your team, believe in your technology, know everything there is about your startup. And for me, A, I wish you success. B, certainly for this ecosystem here in Iasi, I put myself at the ready, meaning reach out to me. I will be supportive of what you do. And I really hope to come here again. It was a great pleasure for me to be here. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We will see you at the next interview at Vocile 2.0. Thank you so much.